pick a cake and give it to you. Very innovative and passionate about what she does. And she's coming up to teach us hints of how to arrive to a place where she is today and a vision of where she is going. So that some of us who are still in the shadow, other people are doing something with it. Amen. So today she's going to minister to us, to speak to us. And if you are ready like I am, please put your hand together as we invite the master baker, Sister Mwambazi.
Wow, what an intro. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
First of all, I would like to take this opportunity to thank Mom for according us this platform. Yes, it's a talent show, and we're very grateful for your selflessness, for pouring out your hearts to us. We're very grateful. So, to start with, my name is Sibongile Z Mwambazi. I'm a baker, and I have a passion for helping young people find their identity and purpose. So I'm here to share with you my story, how I got to be where I am, a baker. So, where was I? Oh, hey, Dave.
Hey, what's up?
Yeah, so my story is in 4 parts. So I hope you pay attention. Where was I? That's the first part of it. So I didn't know, what can I say? I didn't know who I was, because most of us think when we're married to a good husband, then we've arrived. That's it. So you're a good wife. It doesn't matter whatever happens, so long as you're helping, supporting your husband to you, you've reached your destination. That's your purpose. That's the place where I was. I thought getting married to a good man, hardworking, taking care of the kids, that was it. Though before we got married, I studied diplomacy and international studies. So my idea was to get a job in the foreign service, but all that changed when I got married. Something about not knowing your purpose, not having an identity. So you think, no, if I start work, maybe my marriage will be jeopardized, so let me just end. I didn't know, I hadn't had a personal discovery of who I was. I had no purpose, no direction. I didn't have confidence in myself. I had so much low esteem. So I thought the best I could be is just be a good wife, and that's it. That's the place where I was. So when I got married, my husband was involved in a network marketing company called Tianchi. Most of you might be familiar with it. Tianchi, it was dealing in wealth and health and wellness products. That's how he thought. He said, maybe you can start this business, be a distributor, get a shop, and then let's see where that is going to take us. So that's how I started selling the products. Business was good. We were doing fine until late, I think 2016, going into 2017. That's where a lot of network marketing companies came on board, so that really affected our sales. There was a decline in the sales, because now you know how people are. Something new comes, they run where it's happening, and when it fails, they go back. So that's where we were. So we saw a lot of distributors leaving Tianchi, and business really was tough. So I was contemplating on stopping, because we were paying rent and transport and food. So business was so hard that it wasn't making sense keeping the shop because now would always source money from elsewhere to pay for the rentals. So that really wasn't making sense. So it was in that moment that I met up with Tante Victoria Mwansa. She does Words of Wisdom and Christian Voice, a renowned baker, very lovely woman. Yeah, so we got talking, we became friends. That's how it was in that moment that I just decided to close the shop. So now the shop was closed, so I was like, what next? It meant going back to being a housewife. Now it was in that moment I said, I can't just stay at home and just be a housewife. So let me talk to my husband because he has some connections, he can help me get a job. And he wasn't really forthcoming with a job thing because he said, you're a businesswoman, look at how much you were doing at that shop. You were making, you're good with business, you know. Business just comes to you like natural. Why don't you ask God to show you something? Search inside of you. There should be something that you can do other than working. And for me, I didn't have anyone. I didn't have a mentor then. So I thought, this man just wants me to be staying at home. So what did I do? I enrolled for an MBA program because the main purpose for me enrolling in that program was for me to get a job. Nothing else. All I wanted was just to get a job. So that's how I started with my MBA program. And during that moment, I don't know if my husband discerned that I should get closer to Auntie Vicky so she can take me through some baking lessons. I don't know. So maybe he discerned or he saw something. Cooking comes to me natural, but I didn't know about the baking part of it. So that's how I did, coming to the SPAC now, where I got my SPAC. That's how I enrolled in the just beginner's course with Auntie Vicky for baking. And it was in that moment, I think that's when I got my niche, because every time we had those baking lessons, she can attest to this. She was like, do you ever sleep? Because I'll be like, Auntie Vicky, I saw this on Pinterest. I want to try out this cake. And she was like, okay, girl, I think you found your passion. I was always looking forward to having a class with her and try out something new. And the joy that I would get was just overwhelming. There's just something when you find what your passion is, something inside of you, I really can't explain it. You really have to be there to know what it feels, just the joy and fulfillment that you get. So now I'd already started school, and I was in my third year then, when I was doing the baking lessons. So now I started, and it was about that time when I met Dr. Nellie, and she was taking me through mentorship. I remember confiding in both of them, like, this school thing, I don't look forward to going to school. I've started losing the zeal I had for school, because I would even dream of cakes. I would wake up in the night, my husband can bear witness. I would wake up in the night, 04, I'm in the kitchen baking. She's like, Iwe, can you come and sleep? I'm like, no, I have this idea. I saw this cake, I want to try it out. And we know I've got exams. The exams can wait, then attend to the cake business. So I just said, and Dr. Nellie and Auntie Vicky just said, why don't you write the exams, put your school on hold. When you feel the need to continue, then you can go ahead and continue. For now, focus on building your business, your newfound passion, get some skills, knowledge, so that you can better yourself in that area that you're now operating in. So that's how I had to put my school on hold. And I remember Dr. Nellie talking something about connecting to the right people, having powerful connections. It was in that moment when one of my good friends' memories, since I had told her that I think I found my passion in baking, So she told me, okay, let me connect you to this group. It's a Facebook. It's what can I say? It's a group for bakers, international bakers. So she told me, you sign up so you can be getting tips. I mean, people who've gone ahead of you can help you and all that. So that's how I joined that Star International Bakers. And power of connections, I said, okay, I don't know if it was fate or it just meant to happen, but I stumbled on this international baker, very well-renowned international baker, Patricia. And for whatever reason, we got talking and she got interested in me because I was like, no, I've just discovered I have this passion for baking. So now I'm thinking of going to South Africa to get a course so that I can upgrade my skills. So she said, actually, I've been planning to come to Zambia. Why not you save yourself transport money and accommodation, and besides, the school where you want to go, I've been training those people, they call me. So instead, you come here. Yeah, I mean, you just wait. I mean, I'm organizing with someone so we can do logistics so I can come here. I was like, oh, great. So that's how I was so excited. And mind you, I didn't even have the money for going to South, but I just believed. You know, the power of positive thinking.
Yeah.
And if you have a deliberate move about something, if you told yourself you want to do something, the universe has a way of bringing the right people and right connections.
Yes.
I had no kobo, but I believed, and that connection to me was like, okay, I'm going somewhere. And I had told myself, I'm not just going to end here, I'm going to make sure I upgrade my skills, I get the expertise and knowledge that I need. Now, 2 weeks to her coming, then I hear the worst news. I was devastated. And she says, Sibo, I think I might not be coming to Zambia. We'll have to cancel the training because you Zambians, I don't know what's wrong with you. For me to come and teach this course, I paid $1,500, which I'm coming to teach in Zambia for $500, and people are complaining. I was like, what's wrong with people? Anything that comes with value has a tag on it.
Yes.
Anything you attach value to, just be willing to die for it. There is a cost to it. Nothing for free is worthwhile. You know what I mean? So I said, no, you have to come. We have to make a way. There is no way you've kept me thinking and so excited that you're coming. Then you tell me we have to cancel. So I remember talking to my husband, telling him, can you imagine this woman is not coming? And then he says, okay, hook me up with her. Let me see what we can do. So that's how I got them talking. He had a live interview with her. And that's how he managed to advertise that event on radio, and the class was fully booked. Oh, it was amazing. The class was full. There were even others who were trying to sign up, but the class was full. So, to cut the story short, that's how Mam Diva came. We call her Mam Diva. She's Patricia Atake. Those in the baking industry would know her. She's a very powerful woman, international brand. That's how she came to Zambia. We did the master bake. That woman is hard. But the training was so hard. And what I've noticed, if you want to become a better person, just be willing to die for anything.
That's right.
Anything, if you are being spoon-fed, you won't manifest your greatness in you.
Yeah.
You have to be pushed. You have to bring out the best in you. And that's what Mam Diba did. We would cry and say until Nikki was there, this woman is wicked. This training is so hard. We called her names, but it was worth it. Because I remember when I was done with my course, with my master bake, plus the kind of clients that I started having, there's something about adding value to yourself. Because when you add value, you get income corresponding to the value that you put.
Absolutely.
Because if you settle for less. Don't expect yourself to have someone like high profile people to come and get a service from you. You want to go, you have to exude excellence for you to get high profile people. So something just happened, my value went up. Before, when I had just done the baking, the normal baking, yeah, I would get clients here and there. But when I was done with that master class, I started getting wedding cake orders, which I never even dreamt in my life. Because I would advertise, no, we do wedding cakes, voila, not even one. After I was done with my master class, because it was there to show the quality of what I did with Mamdiva, it was there to show. And I remember I had 3 wedding cakes in 1 month. And I was like, hey, how am I going to pull this off? But there's something about working in your space when you discover what your passion is, when you begin to operate in your space, you don't get tired. You just need to re-energize and get back to it. And there's just something that keeps you want to just keep doing something. It never tires you. That's why if you want to do something, ask yourself, ask God. Don't just be like, today you're doing this, tomorrow. That's why things just don't work out, because you haven't discovered what your passion is.
That's right.
Coming to challenges, of course, challenges are there. Challenges, are there to help us get better. They build our characters. I've had challenges whereby you have a client not being happy with the service. You've had days where your cakes just flop, and that's a loss. Load shedding thanks to Zesco. I had cases where you deliver a cake and it just falls apart at the venue. But yes, those are challenges. But it doesn't mean you have to give up. You have to push harder, because you have to know, where did I mess up so that I make the correction. Challenges are there to help us look back where we're coming from, because it's a learning curve. It makes you even work harder towards where you've messed up. I'll give an example. There's so many examples of people, in our history, these inventors. I would give an example of John Dunlop, the Dunlop tires, these cars on our vehicles. He went, Edison, the inventor of the light bulb. The guy blew up his laboratory. He did 1,000 times attempts. He never gave up. It doesn't mean if you fail once or twice and people ridicule you and say, why are they saying they are bakers or they are singers or what? You keep trying, keep working at it, keep improving.
Come on now.
Keep working on yourself, and you finally get there. It's an encouragement for me, because, and before, I forgot one part about the money and the connections. That cost, which was $500, because of my connection and just connecting this whole thing. Do you know I didn't pay a cent? I didn't pay the $500.
Come on now.
I didn't pay it. All what I paid for was my tools, which I was going to use. That's it. So if you make a deliberate effort to do something, don't send it even around. You'll be amazed where money will come from. How people will just avail themselves to just pour in that passion of yours. Oh no, auntie, no. And don't even listen. When we start something, we say, what if it doesn't work? Why can't you tell yourself, what if it works?
You know what I mean? Yes.
You know, that's the notion that we need to begin to tell ourselves, what if it works? How am I going to bring up processes? How am I going to be able to, bring up processes and how to accommodate if I'm overwhelmed? Not, no, what if it doesn't work? Oh, yada, yada, yada. No. So that's how my life just transformed. Come on. Because it was in then. I knew what my purpose was. I didn't have an identity. I knew who I was. Why I was there. Why? Because if you want to achieve greatness in life, you always have to upgrade yourself. Don't say, no, just because this thing comes to me natural. No. We're in a dynamic world where things are changing. So always endeavor to keep learning what's happening in your space.
Correct.
What's trending in your space. Because if you're just adamant and say, no, it comes to me natural, so I mean, you'll be amazed that that thing you think it comes to you natural, it has taken another shape and you the number one, spruce up your memorable events and qualities.
Nice.
So besides that, I have a passion for health. I didn't have a relationship with him. My mother died when I was 15 years old. I was pretty young. I've never felt what it is to have a mother. And I miss her most now. I mean, all of you know you need a mother. And life hasn't been good for me because I had to fend for myself from the age of 15 to be where I am. I've gone through so much in life, but I thank God that God is faithful. He's a merciful God. He took me out of that mess. And it's an encouragement to young people because most of us, let me say, society judges young people based on behavior. But they don't know that behavior is influenced by a situation, circumstances that they go through. And most people don't care about that. That's where I have the passion to help them realize that God loves them. There's somebody out there who wants to see the best out of them, who wants to help them in life and tell them, even though you've gone through what you've gone through, life still goes on. There's something better for you that God has in store for you.
Come on.
Accept them and love them. And just tell them it's going to be okay. And excuse me. So that's my passion. It's really, I feel it for the young people. Most of them, we overlook them. We don't seem to care much about them. But I wish we could have people who just accept them and love them and just tell them it's going to be okay and life is still there. They have an identity and God has something best for them.
Yes.
In my conclusion, I would like to end with Matthew 7:7. Most of you know it. Ask, seek, knock, and the door will be found. So, first is to ask, which means speaking words in such a way as an answer or something in return. What follows then is the free transfer of a possession to someone, the one who asked in this case. The second is to seek. This being the act of attempting or desiring to obtain or achieve something. The result of that is finding, which entails discovery after a deliberate search or reaching one's destination without having prior knowledge of how to get there. The third is knocking, which entails striking a surface noisily to attract attention, especially when waiting to be let through a door, like in the case of an opportunity, or could also mean force to move. Follows is allowing access, passage, and thus no longer closed or blocked. Ask and you shall be given. By speaking specific and deliberate words in your life, you will be given specific answers which you shall then go on to possess. Seek and you shall find. When you then have the desire to obtain that which you speak, you will not only discover the means to it, but shall go on to obtain it. Knock and it will be opened to you. Because of what you've obtained, opportunities shall present themselves, and your specific and deliberate words shall draw attention your way. However, what follows must be a deliberate striking at the door, and in certain cases, hard and deliberate blows must be made, and only then shall access be granted. Whatever it is that you have inside of you, don't wait. Just do it. having what God has put inside of you. You know, each one of us will be answerable to what God has called us to do. So why not do what you can, so that you can impact lives? Am I talking to somebody?
Yes.
Thank you. I needed that. Yes. So that's my words of encouragement. Set deep inside of you and do what you have to do. Whatever God has called you to do, just do it. Don't wait for money. Don't wait for approval from anyone. If you've just